Hello everyone, and welcome to the Real Estate Investment Seminar. So tell me, do you want to be a real estate investor? That's great. Do you have tens of thousands of dollars at your disposal? Then you are at the right... Wait, why did you guys shake your heads no? You don't have tens of thousands of dollars to invest? Okay, 1 second. Hey man, I think I'm at the wrong seminar. These people have no money. Okay, I'll do my best. What if I told you that you can invest in real estate for under $100? Trust me, I'm an expert. Hey, what is up, Bubs? I'm Hassan, and all jokes aside, REITs are a wonderful way for you to invest your money for good returns. So in this video, I'm going to break down a real estate investment trust, or REITs. I'll go over some pros and cons for them, and then I'll wrap up the video with 2 ways to invest in them for the best and maximum results. Stick around. Now, this video topic was suggested by a YouTube friend, Kenan. His channel is going to be in the description below if you want to check it out. If you have a topic that you want me to blab about, leave me a comment below or email me. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you find this video helpful. Alright, let's get started with what is a REIT. REIT, or Real Estate Investment Trust, is basically a company that buys or holds real estate investment properties that are income producing. Now, these type of companies do have a really good tax benefit from the government. Because of that, they do have to follow certain guidelines and certain rules to stay in REIT status. Now, these laws and regulation or guidelines are not really anything exciting. Just know that the REIT has to have income producing properties. They can't be owned by one rich guy. It has to have a board of directors and blah, 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 blah. As far as the basics go, there are 2 different types of REITs, an equity-based REIT or a mortgage-based REIT. The equity-based REITs are the most common ones. They usually hold office buildings, apartment complexes, shopping malls, storage facilities, hospitals, industrial buildings, etc. Now, typically, a REIT will pick one of the types of buildings and make it their specialty, and that's for easier communication to their stakeholders. But there are a few that hold a variety of different types of buildings as well. Now, the second type of REIT is the mortgage-based REIT. Now, they make their money from loans, from interest, and also from mortgage-backed securities. So how does a REIT work for you? Well, basically, if you want to invest in real estate but really don't want to deal with the hassle of being a landlord, asking for rent and all that stuff, REIT is the way to go. REIT is a type of company that takes your money as an investor, goes out and buys properties, then occupies those properties with renters and so on, and that profit is then distributed back to them and also to shareholders like yourself. Now, one of the greatest benefits of owning a REIT is that one of the laws requires them to pay 90% of their income back to their shareholders as dividends. So you as an investor get to own a piece of a property or a percentage of that property and get dividends back as a source of income without getting your hands dirty. And you typically don't have to worry about dividend cuts. So let's talk about some pros and cons for REITs. So we just talked about the requirement that they have to pay 90% of their income back as a dividend, but there's always a but. REIT taxes for the dividends are really confusing. Now, when you receive your dividend through a REIT, it can be taxed differently. It can be taxed at ordinary income level, which could be as high as 37%. It can be taxed as capital gains, which is normally around 15%, but it could be as high as 20%. Or it can also be taxed as return of capital. Let me explain. Since almost all REITs fall into non-qualified dividends, I think you should understand the difference between qualified and non-qualified dividends first. See, the dividends have different tax implications based on the type of dividend. A non-qualified dividend is sometimes considered normal income, so it's taxed at your normal income tax rate, versus a qualified dividend is taxed at capital gains rate. By the way, if you want to know more about income tax brackets, there's a video up here that you can check out. Anyways, in case of most REITs dividends, they're taxed at your normal income tax rate, which can be terribly high depending on how much money you make. And eventually will get terribly high because you're going to continue to make more money in the future. All right, so now that you know a little bit about the REITs and some of their pros and cons, what are the best ways to use them and what are the best ways to invest in them? The answer is actually 2-part. And if you know my channel, you might already have guessed both of those answers. First way is to avoid the taxes altogether. The way to do that is if you're invested in a Roth IRA account, or if you have a 401k Roth, you can invest in those and not have to pay any taxes on it, period. There is a video on my channel that compares all of different types of retirement accounts. If you want to check it out, it's right up here. Second is REIT is an ordinary company just like any other one. There's going to be mistakes that are going to happen. There's going to be some bad apples and some bad companies in general. So a way to avoid that is to invest in a REIT index or an ETF. Indexes or ETFs are a great way to avoid an individual company's failure. Basically, you're diversifying. So if one company fails, the rest of them should be able to pick up their losses and still break even, or maybe even still produce a profit. Check out this video if you want to find good indexes, good ETFs, and how to research them and find the best one for you. Be sure to hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed the video or if it helped you out, and consider subscribing as I bring out more of these educational videos weekly. And as always, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.